Hello everyone, it's Noel and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to paint a Christmas tree, or what I'm hoping will turn out like a Christmas tree. And funny story, I actually started the first 3 minutes of this video and I even had part of the tree painted, and then I realized I had no microphone. So this is round 2. Yeah, I am going to paint a Christmas tree in watercolor. And I am basing this on a picture that I found on Google. And this reference image will be in my description box below, like I do with all of my reference images. I wanted to do something that was more painterly today, not really concise or I just wanted to have fun. I wanted to let loose. I didn't want anything to be perfect. So I'm going to let the paint lay where it may. So I did actually get my paper here wet, but I'm going to wet it just a little bit more, just slightly. I want it to be a little damp, so I'm taking this huge brush, huge brush. What size is this? Size 40. That thing is big. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and redo this. I literally only got the top tier of this tree when I realized I didn't have my microphone sitting in front of me. It was really funny. So I am taking this pre-mixed yellowy green here. This palette does have a greenish yellow, but I wanted to make my own just because I didn't really like the tone of that one. So I'm just taking this. This is my size 6 brush, and I'm just going to kind of dab, just go down in a triangle formation. And this is going to be where the highlights are going to stick out for our tree. And just don't worry about where your paint's going to go. Just dab, just have fun. I hate overthinking a painting. That really does it in for me. The mood that I'm in when I want to go and do art. If I think, oh, if I start this, it's not going to be good, then that makes me that just sets the tone for the day. It's oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to. And see, some artists wake up in the morning and they're like, yeah, I'm going to paint today. It's going to be awesome. Me, I'm just okay. But once I'm into it, it's fine. It's just it's like getting the motivation to exercise. For me, it's oh, I don't want to. But then after I'm done and it's over with, I'm okay, that wasn't so bad. Is anybody else like that, or is it just me? I mean, just lazy. Some sort of lazy. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm noticing now that I'm starting to get a pool up at the top. So I need to figure out how to stop that. Okay, I am going to go in with a sponge here and just dab a little bit at the areas that are getting too much pigment, because I don't want this to be insane. I want it to be just simple. Actually, this reminds me now, I did back in elementary school. I remember painting a tree. This was 4th grade, I believe. And I remember it being the most awesome tree I'd ever painted in my life, and I loved it. I don't know if there's even a copy of it somewhere, but I remember being so proud of that tree. I was so proud. Okay, the next, where's my palette book? Okay, good old palette swatch book. I pretty much know what colors I want to use, but I just have to triple make sure. Always keep your palette, keep your palette book handy. Okay. Alright, we're going to go down here with this green. Ooh, I probably shouldn't have put too much water in this pan. Ooh, it sounds chalky. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I hate chalk. When I taught, that was one of the things that I hated. Ooh, was handling chalk. I hated it. Still hate chalk. Sidewalk chalk, those little pieces of white chalk. Ugh. And just dragging this on the side to get the excess off is painstaking for me. Woo! I don't know. Do you have any like weird pet peeves like that? Because that is like one of my big ones. I actually went and invested in a do you remember if your teacher had like a chalk holder? I actually bought one while I was teaching because I just couldn't stand holding chalk anymore. I was like, nope, we're not gonna do this. If I can avoid holding a piece of chalk, I will. Cleaning up chalk after my kids had dumped out the bucket was the worst because it's like, well, now Miss Noel has to go and clean these up. Sometimes my kids would help me out, but, you know, 2-year-olds have a mind of their own. Okay, I might actually want to spread this a little bit, so I'm taking some clean water here. Ooh, you know, I do have a pipette. Let's have fun with this. Let's see what happens. I actually have 3 cups of water. There's my dirty cup here. Can you even see? Here. This is why I have this camera, like, doing what it's thing. Okay, this one's dirty. This one's clean. Over here is another clean one, and this is specifically for pipette water. I didn't plan it that way, actually, but that's how it's going. So I'm going to just take my little pipette here. You can get these pretty cheap anywhere. I actually got this in an essential oils kit. And I'm just going to very carefully drop. Ooh. Drop. That's cool. Okay. So that's kind of going to mingle and do its thing. That actually looks really cool. That light green is actually a little bit lighter than I thought, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm still deciding how I want to put the ornaments on because I'm just going to do really simple red bulbs. I might have to wait until this is all dry before I put those on. Not putting them on now, of course, because the tree's not even done, but let's see. Let's go for our next color. Let's do... I kind of want to mix another green. Here, maybe you can watch. I kind of want to mix another, like, mid-tone green. Okay. I'm going to take this here. This is kind of a blue, more of a blue-green. I'm going to put it right down here. Might mix it with one of those yellows. How about we mix it with orange, just to see what happens? I'm curious. Don't you ever get curious when you paint? I just want to try something. See what happens in here. Oh, that looks nice. You know what? Let's go with that. Let's go with that. I'm putting this underneath the other green that we put down. That's pretty. I'm also trying to focus more dark colors towards the center of the tree, as well as underneath what would be the branches. I don't know how much this green that I mixed is gonna interfere with the other green I laid down. Probably a lot, honestly. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just having fun. Just having a laugh. I might have to stop the video at some point to get new water, but not right now. I just figured I'd let you guys know. Sometimes I even like to take my little, so you can see, I like to take my little pipette and try and get that pigment off my brush, especially when I have like a shallow pan like this that doesn't like to cooperate. I do like that. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. It's probably not the same tone, but that's okay. We're gonna get all kinds of greens in here. And you know what? We'll even let some things hover in the air a little bit. I don't want too many clumpies. Just kind of want it to do whatever it feels like. Whatever it feels like doing. Oh, yeah, I like that too, actually. You know, I think I want to work a little bit on some dry areas too. So, I know we just started. I know that. But I think I'm going to let this dry just a little bit. Just so I can get some of that paper texture. And so that these can like set. And then I can add more depth and darkness to it. So, I'm actually going to stop the recording here. And I'll be back with you in a second. Once this is dry. And we're back. So I did give this time to dry. I do notice there is just one spot down here that's like not entirely dry, which is fine. I'll just work around it. So I am just going to add some more. Is there something on? Oh, my cup is damaged. I was wondering why my cup was all just misshapen and wonky. I should have got clean water, but I didn't. I'm really smart. I think ahead, guys. I think ahead. So I'm actually going to deepen this a little bit further. I'm going to add this bluer toned green right here in my palette. Actually, is it? It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty blue. But it's just slightly darker than all the other greens that I put on so far. So I'm just gonna lay this in the areas I think I'm going to see the most darkness. And since the paper is dry, I'm not going to get as much blur, which I kind of wanted to see how that would look. So I'm just going to add that there. I was actually, while I was letting this dry, I was watching this anime called Welcome to the Ballroom. And I feel like nobody is watching this. Like, nobody's talking about it. It's actually been on since the summer of this year. But, like, I've not seen anything. I actually had to, I was watching a video by My Mangaka Life with Lisbeth. And I'll link her channel down below because I love her. I think she's hysterical. And she said that she and her fiance were watching it. And I was like, well, should I be watching this? So I actually started watching it and I love it. And it's got some similarities to Yuri on Ice in that it is a sports anime. And but I think and the main characters kind of look the same too. But that's pretty much where the similarities kind of end. But I refer to the main character as Discount Yuri because he looks, I mean, whenever he gets into his ballroom attire, he looks exactly like Yuri Kotsky, and I just think it's funny. Okay, so I am getting a little bit of lift. So that probably, I need to adjust my water and paint here. There we go. Always make adjustments. And I'm just going to add randomly. I feel like this is very like structured, so I'm probably gonna take some steps to remedy that in a minute. I don't know how. Because the reference picture, if you did take a look at it, is very like scattered, you know. I only looked at it for a minute. I actually wanted to try and do my own thing just to see how much I could replicate. But, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, this anime, so far I really like it. I am actually over halfway through it. I don't know how it's going to end or what's going to happen. But I like it. It's very like slice of life. And I really like that kind of stuff. Like a little bit of life is thrown in there. Like real world problems. Not like magical, weird stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with magical girl anime or anything like that, but sometimes I like to be a little bit more grounded. I like things to be able to really like relate to me, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I don't like really heavy topics in my entertainment. So like very rated R type of things. I don't usually tend to like just heavy things. Okay, you can just take that as you will. But I don't like heavy things in my shows. So, just like, as for an example, I have not, and I probably will never watch 13 Reasons Why, just because of the content that's associated with it. It's a critically acclaimed show, and bravo to that. That's amazing that it's approached topics that are in it the way that it did. But I can't watch things like that. So, but, you know, congrats to them. They did good. So anyway, I think I'm just going to take my brush here and swirl it around a little bit in the areas that I kind of want some mingling, because I don't want a lot of this to be too heavy. But I do still want some spots to stand out more than others. But I'm just kind of I want a little party. I want a little Christmas party to go on. Little Christmas party. Actually, Christmas is not my favorite holiday. If I was to pick one holiday out of the whole entire year, it would have to be Valentine's Day. And I'm sure anybody who knows me that might be watching this would know that, like, Valentine's Day is my jam. It is the one holiday I get the most excited for. And I think that mostly is because when I was in high school, every Valentine's Day I took about a week out of my time, like my own time, to make Valentine chocolate for my friends. And I had like all these molds. I had all these like gift wrappings and like chocolate, those little like pellets, those melty wafer things. And I would just give them out. I would just give them to everybody. I made so many. I made probably about 50 bags a year. And I didn't really have like that many friends either, but I was just like, hey, you want some chocolate? Here you go. And I just had fun with it. That was like, I just had so much fun doing stuff like that. And I remember the one year I actually gave to a teacher, and he actually approached me and asked me what kind of chocolate I used. I was like, it's just plain old wafer chocolate, nothing special. But I just thought that was funny. Thought it was really nice. So I kind of like how this looks. But I'm trying to think of like adjustments I could make. But at the same time, I don't really know how much that I could personally add, because like I'm gonna look at my reference image, because heaven forbid. Yeah, mine looks nothing near my reference image. Here, can you see here? Side by side. Mine looks nothing near this reference image. This reference is beautiful, and whoever painted it says Wren's Roost painted this original watercolor Christmas tree print. It is gorgeous. Actually, they added some detail. It looks like they added some other details too. I kind of see how they did theirs. They kind of pushed back their branches using lighter colors and made the branches that are closer a lot darker. So I don't know what I'm doing, apparently. We've already been through this. Actually, I'm going to let this dry again, and I'm going to start adding branches. So I will see you in a second. Maybe right now. And we're back. All right, so this is dry. Oh, kind of. It's slightly cool, so that means it's a little bit damp. That's okay. Yeah, so let's add some branches. So I'm taking this liner brush. It is a size 1. I also don't like this liner brush, mostly because it is so long, but I could probably use that to my advantage when it comes to doing little tiny tree branches. So, you know, I'm just going to go in with this dry brush, and I have a pre-mixed, you can see it here, I have a pre-mixed brown that I made earlier. And I'm just going to go in, and I think I'll make the tree trunk first. So I'm just going to lightly take it here at the bottom. Okay. And just add like brown here and there, but going in a straight line. Because, you know, whenever you see a tree, sometimes you don't always see the entire trunk of it, because the the leaves and stuff are in the way. Unless you have a Charlie Brown tree, then you can pretty much see the entire base of it. Which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Charlie Brown trees are cute. But me, personally, I kind of don't really care for Christmas trees that much. I know that seems so, like, dumb to say. But I feel like they're a bit too much. You know, first of all, you have to chop them down. So there, you're killing a tree. Okay, I'm not a big hippie person. But, like, what's the point? Alright? And then, what did I hear? Somebody said that buying a plastic Christmas tree was actually worse for the environment than just cutting down a normal tree. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, you know, if you just didn't get either or, then you'd be okay. But that's just me. I'm noticing that my laptop battery is actually going to die soon, so I actually need to plug that in a minute. But I'm going to try to make some indications, as Mark Crilly would say. He's a great YouTube artist, by the way. Indications. He says that a lot. Of branches, so. I'm not going to put too many because I feel like that would just be too much. Just here and there. Little bits. I probably made more brown than I actually needed. Okay. I noticed though too that this brown here probably has more water than pigment. And I'm noticing when I'm laying it down that the water part is spreading and re-wetting the green, but it's not necessarily putting brown down. Which, whatever. I don't claim to be a pro. I just wanted to draw a Christmas tree today. Alright. I might put a couple more like spots of brown here and there. Just small ones. Just itty bitty. I probably would benefit from actually looking at an actual Christmas tree. But I didn't. Okay, so this doesn't look too bad. Is it the best? No. Certainly not. It is not the best. But I wasn't going for anything too crazy. I just wanted something simple. Something to get me to sit down and draw today. Because for me, that is half the battle, is sitting down to actually make art. And I envy the people who can just sit down and just go at it, go hard. I'm just not one of those people. And it's okay. It's okay to not be one of those people. So I wanted to add some very simple ornaments. Just red. Just simple red. But this palette does not have red. Ooh, gold would be nice too. I have gold paint. Like actual like markers that have paint in them. We're gonna go crazy. Okay, let me get my Kuretake Gansai Tambis out. Okay, can I just be really real for a minute? I have like a really big thing about the way people pronounce words. I don't know if it's like, I'm gonna like go, I don't know, I have to go get my palette. But just hold on, just hold that thought for like just a second. I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna plug my laptop in and I'm gonna have my little rant. Okay, are we back? Alright, I plugged the laptop in and I got my palette. I don't know where this comes from. It might come from the fact that I do have a, I guess it's classified as a neurological disorder now, seeing as it was just basically like the name was just discovered, but people have been suffering it for like years and years and years. And I have this disorder where certain sounds cause me like actual pain. Like, not pain in that like it inflicts me physically, but like the way that it affects me is just like I get very angry or upset or anxious. It's called misophonia, and it is a very real problem. I am not making it up. I've had it for literal years. I probably started showing symptoms when I was about 11. And I didn't know what it was at the time. I just thought, you know, certain sounds aggravated me for no reason because they just did. But yeah, but anyway, so stemming from that problem comes the problem that I don't like the way that people pronounce things, or I find lately that certain accents that people have, I can't listen to them for very long. So, and that's unfortunate because there's a lot of really awesome accents in the world that are actually like everybody's accents in the world are so unique and different that it's really unfortunate that I can't enjoy them. Like, and I try to work on it a little bit, just for my own sanity because it's so debilitating. But, yeah, what was it? Oh, so when pronouncing Japanese words, a lot of people really screw it up. And I just think it's silly because I feel like Japanese is probably one of the easiest languages to pronounce. Now, speaking and like, you know, actually talking in Japanese, like with grammar, correct grammar and everything, that's a completely different animal. But pronunciation, I feel is like super easy. So it kind of makes me mad when people like pronounce certain Japanese art supplies wrong. And I'm just like, ugh, cringe. Super cringe. So I do want these Christmas balls to stand out. I'm not going to give them a whole lot of depth just because I don't want to work this paper too much. I don't want to work the tree too much because I know as soon as I lay down color it's going to want to play and mingle, and I don't want that. But I do want to put some vibrant red in here, and I'm going to actually use a more blue toned red. Oh, who knows? Maybe we'll use a deeper one. I'm trying to sit this in a way that I don't screw up what's underneath it. So up here in this top row, you have all these beautiful reds in here. I'm actually going to take this second one here, and I might even play around with the fourth one. I'm not sure yet. So I need to wet this, get it happy, get it mingled. Okay. Get that on my brush. And now the fun part is trying to figure out. My mom, actually pretty much everyone in my family, is super great at like decorating. I don't know why I didn't acquire this particular skill, but they are just amazing at decorating. And it makes me sad because I don't know how to. So these are pretty much going to hover in midair. I don't want them to be like too crazy. I didn't want to get too detailed. I do have to watch how much water is on my brush, because if there is too much water on my brush and not enough of this red color, they're gonna have a bit of a Christmas party here with too much eggnog. And it's gonna get muddy, and I don't want that. I really want this to pop. I want these Christmas balls to be like popping out. That's why I'm using the most vibrant red in this set. And I'm just dabbing. I'm dabbing in a circular motion because I don't want to scrub in the circles. So I am dabbing in the circles very carefully. And you can dab them in any way you want. I'm going clockwise. You can go counterclockwise if that's easier or whatever. I'm left-handed, so clockwise is usually easier for me. So I'm just getting a little bit more of that pigment here. I'm actually interested to see what it's like to hit pan on this product, because I actually did hit pan with my, what is it, my Nijis. Those pearlescent ones. Let me pull it out for you. It's like a really, really cheap palette. A really, really, really cheap glitter palette. They're not the best, but they're cool. This palette right here, you can see right here. I hit pan with that. I think I was practicing a galaxy or something, but Yeah, they're very, 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 very shallow pans. And, yeah, I was actually really surprised. I was like, oh, I thought there was more product in there. I was surprised and relieved because that not only means that I don't have to, worry about when I'm going to finish that palette. It also means that I can finish it sooner and maybe purchase something that's better quality. But for the price, though, depending on where you're buying it, kind of want to put something there. I think I saw it on Blick's website for $5. It's on Amazon for pretty cheap too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with inexpensive tools, unless of course you are selling original artwork. Then you want to make sure that you're using better quality tools. But if you're just making prints, you know, you're just scanning and enhancing. There's no problem with using lower quality. Well, not low, I don't want to say like lower quality, but there's no problem with using something that you can like manipulate digitally, I feel like, because then, you know, it's not such a big deal. So I'm actually going to do I want to let this red sit for a little bit? You know what? Yeah. I'm going to let this red sit for a little bit, and then I'm going to try to maybe, you know what? No. You know what? I'm going to try and add that dark red now. Just a little bit. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm kind of still playing it by ear. I like not thinking too hard when I do art. Ugh. It pains me when I have to think. And some people think that, oh, when I was in college, and you know, yeah, artists do have a particular point, I guess, in mind when they do their artwork. And my college professors were trying to get that point across, that, oh, what do you think this artist was thinking when they were painting this? I'm like, I don't know. I can't get into their brain. But I don't know. I don't want my artwork to be too hard to think about. I don't know. Like, I don't like to think too hard. Oh, and that reminds me of another story. When I was, anytime we called them the Pennsylvania Standard something. We called them the PSSAs, but basically it was a standardized test that the whole school had to take. I can't tell if this is getting dark or not. Maybe a little. But anyway, standardized testing sucks. And when we had to take it, the part that I hated the most was like the critical thinking part. Because I didn't like thinking too hard. And I could never, and it was always an essay, which I don't mind writing essays. But analyzing things, that word, anytime I saw that word being used for like school purposes, it freaked me out. Because I was like, oh no, I have to use my brain. And I can't, like, I don't really have very good reading comprehension too. I don't know, that's where politics and like math and science, like, I just can't wrap my head around when they start throwing out kind of big words. I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't fathom what they're talking about, and I don't know. I don't know if that's just like me because I'm weird. Okay, so I kind of messed those up, but I don't care. I don't care at all. And now I'm trying to decide if I want to use these pens because they are paint markers and they just went all over my drawer here. That's nice. I'm gonna have to clean that up. And I'm wondering if I can get away with dabbing some of these on. I might just use gold though because I like gold. If you couldn't tell by my fingernails. Okay. So I'm going to put some gold baubles here and there. But I'm going to dab that too. There we go. Pretty. Like I said, I don't want to scrub the paper. Because watercolor loves to be scrubbed, but when you do that, it also likes to pop up. And we don't want that. We just want to add detail without worrying about that green popping out of place. Is this the most stunning painting in the whole world? Of course not. No. But we got some practice in today. We found some things that work and some things that don't. And as a matter of fact, I haven't used these paints on anything but cardstock. So I'm interested to see how they work on this watercolor paper. So I'm just going to put that down. Oh yeah, these were from Michael's. These are the Craft Smart markers, paint markers. Except some of them don't really act like paint. That acts like paint. There's like a pink in there that acts more like a marker than it does a paint marker. So that's unfortunate. But anyway, I like how this looks. I don't really want to add anything else because I just wanted it to be simple. Simple and pretty. Maybe like a little bit of an outline. Maybe I'll put some blue. I'm going to use this blue. This pretty sky blue. Oh, but you know what? I'm going to wet the edges a little bit. That way it's not like, ooh, it's blue. There. Oh, something. Uh-oh. I have a drawing underneath and some of the pigment was picking up. That's okay. We can work with it. Okay, so we're going to put this blue in here. Maybe add a little bit more water. That was probably too much water. And I just want to frame this. I am going to fuzz out the edges. Don't you worry. I just didn't want it to be like a white canvas type of deal. Oh, that was something that, who was it? It was probably my elementary school art teacher said she did not want to see white on our paintings or drawings. She said no white. Had to paint the whole thing. And I guess that was just her way of making us actually like work instead of talk. I don't want to see any white. I actually used that tactic for some of my students. I don't want to see any white on that paper. Make sure you use the whole paper. Because, you know, little kids, they just want to draw. They just want to draw. They want to draw one figure and then move on to the next one. So they waste a lot of paper. Kids waste a lot of paper. So one of the things that I would do actually too was to cut up paper a little bit smaller so that, you know, instead of using a big like 8x11 sheet, they're using like a little tiny square of paper. That cut down on the waste a little bit. Okay, so I'm actually going to let this dry just a little bit just to see how we're going here and how everything's doing, to see if I need to make any adjustments. Or, you know, if I don't need to make any adjustments, then I guess we're going to have to say goodbye. So I'll check back here in just a second. So I decided after looking at the reference image again to add just a little bit of a shadow down here. And I'm going to use that, the Lil Pods Watercolor Set, because the Kuretake is quite heavy. And that's all because of the composition of what it's made of. Don't feel like I want to lay too much craziness down. I think I kind of want to do a grayish purpley color. Perhaps. Oh no. Where's my palette book? Let me see. Not grayish purple. I do want to use gray, but I don't know if I want to use purple. Let's see. Maybe that burgundy color. I'm gonna make some colors in this palette here just to play around. I like that color. It matches my top. Oh, okay. I just wanted a little bit of a shadow. You know what? Maybe I'll do burgundy. Let's try burgundy. And we'll see what other color we want to mix. I feel like gray would be too much, but actually, you know what? Let's wet the page down here. Maybe we can combine the two with mingling, just by mingling them together. So I'll do that. Because at first I thought, well, what if I just put them in the same palette? No, let's not. Let's get some. But I am going to dilute the two colors though. Because I don't want it to be heavy. I want the focus to be up on the tree. Okay, so I'm gonna get this brush clean here. And I'm gonna start putting in those shadows down here on this wet area. Okay, so the burgundy's gonna go in. It is a little bit more concentrated than I want it, so I'm actually going to take my sponge and soak that up. Because I don't want it to be that heavy. I want just a stain, little stain of color down there. I no longer have any clean water, except for my pipette water. Okay, taking the gray. Probably going to have to blot this too, and that's all right. That's absolutely all right. Okay, make sure that it's playing nicely. I'm gonna blot at it. There we go. I just wanted something a little bit more at the bottom. That way it didn't look completely unfinished. I wonder how it's going to look when we take the tape off. Of course, now I have to wait for it to dry again. I just feel like I'm waiting forever. Okay, is there anything else? That Gansai stuff is it's very shiny. It looks dry. Is it dry? Yeah. It's very shiny. And there is a reason for that. I really do have to put that one YouTuber's Gansai video in the description. I have to remember to do that. You know what? I need to make a note. I need to make a note. I don't have any paper on my desk. How is this a thing? Here. Ugh. I know. These are the things that you have to put up with when it's me. Okay. Okay, so Gansai video. In description. Oh, was there another one I had to put in the description? Oh, just the reference. That's something I always do. Okay. I think I'm done. I think I'm done. But that has to dry before I take the tape off because, I don't know, bad things will happen. So I'll see you when this is dry again. We are back. This is dry. I feel comfortable taking this tape off. And now, when I was sitting down and actually thinking about it, I realized now that the bottom is not going to have any shadow. But, oh well. That's okay. You live and you learn and you do better next time. So I'm just going to peel this off very carefully so I don't tear my paper. It doesn't look too bad. It's fine. It does look a little bit incomplete, but I don't really care. I'm just happy I got something done today. So, again, I forgot to bring a proper pen to sign with. Because that's just, you know what? No, we'll use the gel pen again. It says Instagram. I like to color code things in my planner. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it here. I kind of don't want to add anything else, do I? Maybe white? Do I want to add any white? Some sparkles, perhaps? Where's that gross ink I don't like to use? But now I'm kind of stuck using because I bought it and I have this thing that I have to use up anything that I've bought. So, I'm gonna use this, open it. Ugh. I might transfer this to another jar because I really don't like this jar. It like gets all over the cap and it is not good. So I'm gonna take a dry brush, as dry as I can get this brush. Dip into this here. I kind of want to add some white to the bulbs, just to like show that they are shiny. But I don't know how this is gonna work. I have not used this ink very much. I'll probably just go and use acrylic paint, which I do have. But I figure I bought this, I might as well use it. So Christmas is coming, and also Hanukkah, I think, is coming up, and Kwanzaa, all those fun holidays are coming up this beautiful winter season. What holiday do you celebrate, and how do you celebrate it? Because every family is different. Everybody celebrates Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah in a different way. And it's always fun to see what new traditions people come up with every year. When I was teaching, we had a favorite book in my classroom called Santa Claus. And it was about how Santa celebrates Kwanzaa. And it was absolutely a delight to read. I loved reading it every year. So I'm just adding these. There we go. Oh, one more. Okay. How does that look? That looks a little bit much, but I don't really care. I almost want to like splatter some paint, some of this, but I don't. I won't. I will not. I feel like this ink is going to take forever to get through. I don't think I will ever buy this product again. At least not this, the speedball kind. Unless I can figure out some amazing way to use it. So anyway, I think this is done. I think I'm done. Now I just need to sign it. I'm happy with it. Yes. Good. Alright, I'm going to sign it down here. In my good old gel pen. I love gel pens so much. Knoel. And I use my Lil Pods. As well as my Kuretake. Oh. I'll put marker pen. Or paint marker. I just like to know what I use, because then I can go back and be like, what did I use in this project? Oh, there it is. That's what I used. And the date is December. I'm actually doing this on the 12th. So yeah, sometimes whenever I record a video, it will not be on the day that it's supposed to be out. Because I just like to plan ahead. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe and come join me for other art-related videos. And also, give this video a thumbs up. I totally appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.